as a result of the mandate and the vaccination requirements. As a result of that work, we ended up with 3 departures from our fire department due to our understanding of the state requirements for EMTs and paramedics to have the state certification that requires vaccination. After the ongoing conversations with our represented group, IAFF, they've been great talking with us, and Chief Ashton. We've looked at examples from other cities that have allowed for a limited accommodation. We've consulted with legal and our insurer, and based on a model letter from the city of Walla Walla, there is the decision for the council to make this evening on whether or not up to 2 of our firefighter paramedics could be accommodated. We've been assured separate sleeping environment, PPE. We've reviewed testing procedures this morning. Shannon Springer and I and the chief went over the testing procedures. So in the end, it is the risk decision for the city council. One of my concerns is in all of this, it is incumbent on organizations like ours to look after the health, welfare, and safety of not only our employees, but the public. This is a public-facing service that we provide, and the mandate is very specific to healthcare provided in a healthcare setting, which the city does do. And so we heard a lot about the need to accommodate. We also have to be ensured that we hear from the employees who have followed and who will be impacted. I have visited the station last Monday and received no feedback. I sent additional emails out today and received no feedback from employees who may have concerns over the accommodation. So at this point, it is up for City Council consideration. Chief Ashton, I don't know if there's anything you would like to add?
Just to go with what I talked to you about on Saturday, staffing is an issue for us already. With these losses, we're down 20% in staffing. Not just from the people that we lost through the COVID vaccination issue, but through some other long-term injuries right now. And we need all the staffing that we can get. We're a very busy department for the size of this city.
Thank you. Now, we do have 6 requests here for people to talk about this issue. Normally we allow 5 minutes, but let's try to keep it to 3 minutes, and we'll see where we go with this. And if you're going to say something, make sure that it hasn't already been said. So in other words, we don't want you to come up and repeat what's already been said. So if you have something new to add, then feel free to use your time. We'll start with John Smith.
I didn't get to finish scribbling this out.
John, would you identify yourself?
I live here. I don't have to give my address according to the Open Meetings Act. You guys should already know that.
Go ahead.
I actually don't even have to give my name. You should also know that. I'm assuming that this council and most everyone in the important chairs swore an oath to uphold, defend, and protect the Constitution. I wonder if that includes the city manager and the city's attorney, mandating that people submit to a forced injection under threat of loss of jobs benefits and pensions, as well as unemployment benefits that have all been paid into by the people being threatened, violates not just the Constitution, but international treaties including the Nuremberg Accords that forbid forced medical experiments. Demanding forced compliance to an injection rushed into production without the customary scientific process that includes long-term studies and using coercive governmental threats to force compliance is antithetical to the individual liberty guaranteed in the Constitution. Freedom to choose to be vaccinated or not to be is being used as a political cudgel, and there can be little argument that it is not. A wedge is being driven between not just Americans, but citizens around the world. Some are for increasing the powers of governments to use threats and force over people's rights to personal decisions. I believe the vast majority oppose such a push for allowing such unchecked authority by politicians. We are purposely being divided into those who will act and assist the state government and those who demand the right of conscience protected by the Constitution. Being labeled as an enemy of the state, that's where I lost time. Anyway, if I'm going to be labeled as an enemy of the state, everybody that's going to work in collusion with government to be the jackboots that put their necks on my back better watch their own.
Ralph?
My name is Trey Rouse, and I have the distinct pleasure of being a firefighter for the city of Moses Lake. I have faithfully served the citizens of Moses Lake for over 20 years. I'm proud to have served with dozens of outstanding men and women. Phil Walker is the very best of us. He always has been. It is tragic for me to see the way that Phil Walker and other members of our department have been treated in recent weeks. In my years, I've seen our fire department survive many threats. We have overcome these things with unity and determination. Most often, those who would do harm to us have been our own employers, the city of Moses Lake. And yet we have overcome. Still, to this day, I do not regret one single moment of it. It has been my pleasure and my honor to serve this city. It's provided for my family. It's allowed me to make friends that will last my entire lifetime. The city must offer us accommodations. Both now to these employees that are being forced into this mandate and in the future. There will be more. I ask the city and the city council to please make the right decisions. God bless the city of Moses Lake. God bless this Moses Lake Fire Department. And God bless America. Thank you very much.
Comment, or do you want to wait until people start?
I don't know if I should wait or go ahead, because I just wanted to clarify something. The Supreme Court of the United States has upheld vaccine mandates for generations. So to say it's against the Constitution is not true. I just want to say that.
There's a difference between the Constitution and the
Mr. Smith, please. Thank you. Next is Michael McKee.
Good evening. My name is Michael McKee. I'd like to spend a few minutes sharing my thoughts about the unconscionable decision to force out 3 firefighters with over 60 years of combined experience. It's a sad week at best. I have always had the utmost respect for Mrs. Williams. As a business owner in Wenatchee, I've had many occasions to interact with Mrs. Williams. I was always treated with a professional attitude and always felt that my concerns were well addressed. This time, I must respectfully express my disappointment in her decision to not accommodate these 3 firefighters. I've had other firefighter friends in other cities that have been accommodated by their cities. One of the top priorities for the city council, the mayor, and the city manager is to protect the citizens of their communities. Do I feel safer because 3 non-vaccinated firefighters are no longer protecting the city of Moses Lake? Absolutely not. If I am having a heart attack, involved in an automobile crash, and need to be extracted with the jaws of life, have lost my way in a smoky building, do you think I'd give 2 hoots about the vaccination status of the ones that risk it all to save me? I call upon the city council to immediately bring these people back, find a way to accommodate them, and make it happen. Thank you.
Paul Hill?
My name is Paul Hill, and as most of you know, I'm running for school board position 2. I had no intention of speaking tonight because I didn't think I'd get to this. To my fellow citizens, our city council members, thank you for allowing me this opportunity. I'm sure it's been said numerous times in the last few days, but I'm not only shocked, but I'm saddened as well. You've allowed the city to lose 3 firefighters due to unconstitutional mandates from our government. As a public law enforcement officer and a volunteer firefighter with a tenure that lasts 41 years, I know, and I am sure you remember as well, because you swore an oath to protect and uphold the Constitution of the United States, as well as the Constitution of this once great state. These firefighters that you allow to be terminated because you choose not to give them exemptions to make accommodations for them to continue in their chosen careers deserve your thoughtful reconsideration this evening. Let me remind you that these are the same people who have served this city for the past 600 plus days without a vaccination. And they will continue, or would have continued to serve our citizens if you had not denied them the accommodations necessary for them to do their job. I am asking this council to not only reinstate these firefighters, but to grant their exemptions and provide accommodations so that they can perform their jobs. These brave men deserve the same treatment that would be afforded to any other person who requires an accommodation to do a job. I am respectfully asking the Moses Lake City Council to remember the oaths that you took when you were sworn in, and in particular the Washington State Constitution, Article 1, and Sections 3 and 7, and immediately vote to reinstate these firefighters. And just so everyone knows, under Article 1, Section 3, no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process. And Section 7, no person shall be disturbed in his private affairs or his home invaded without authority of law. Thank you again for allowing me to address you tonight.
Is David Hunt.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I respectfully ask you to have 5 minutes. I think I'm going to take a little bit longer than that. October 14, 2021, COVID numbers I retrieved from Washington State Governor's Office. 90.873 of Washington residents have not tested positive for COVID-19. 99.495 of Washington residents have not been hospitalized for COVID-19. 99.892 of Washington residents have not died from COVID-19. The 8,531 residents that regrettably died last year were listed as dying with COVID, not because of COVID. There have been 15,776 cases of COVID in Grant County. There have been 141 deaths of people with COVID, not because of COVID. 7-day average is 52 positive and 0 deaths for the last 7 days. To put some of these numbers into perspective, I researched H1N1 influenza outbreak in 2009 through 2011. October 11th, 2021, the 7-day average of COVID infections in this state was 103 per 100,000 people. October 11th, 2010, the 7-day average of H1N1 was 99 people, or 99 per 100,000 people, so 4 less. We didn't have to wear a mask every day and breathe in our own bodily waste or be forced to be vaccinated. These great firefighters were not fired or sent home at that time. What we have is a tyrant governor that believes in his mind he can mandate citizens of this great country to do what he chooses. He claims it is for the safety and sanctity of human life. A tyrant governor that believes in full-term abortions and has allowed 19,638 babies last year alone to be killed for convenience is not going to preach to me about the sanctity of life. A tyrant governor that has the 4th highest homeless population in the United States is not going to preach to me about the sanctity of life. We have 29,000 people homeless in Washington, 2,171 homeless families with at least 1 child, 1,758 homeless veterans, 1,911 homeless teenagers under the age of 18 being abused daily on our streets. Does anyone really think Jay Inslee is doing this for my good or your good because he cares about human life? I read our city manager and city attorney stated first they had to follow the mandate because the insurance company said so. That is double talk, double speak nonsense. They both know a citizen cannot sue the city stating they got sick, or everyone would sue their city stating just that. I read our city manager and city attorney stated it's law, they don't have a choice. This is not law. It is a mandate. Laws are written after a legislator votes and passes a law, and it is signed by a governor. The law in Washington
Mr.
State...
Banks, you have 30 seconds to close up.
Give 2 more minutes.
30 seconds.
2 minutes.
I signed up for 5 minutes, Your Honor.
No, I said everyone got 3 minutes. I'm giving you 30 more seconds. Close up.
You can have mine.
Did they lobby?
Is that Brandon?
You can have mine.
All right, I'll give you 3 more minutes. You take Brandon's turn.
The law of Washington State clearly says under Article 1, Section 2 of the Washington Constitution that the Supreme Court is the supreme law of the land. 1962, maybe you want to write this down, Mr. Hinkins, court case law, Supreme Court case law states under the 14th Amendment that states cannot deny an individual the right to exercise a reasonable choice in the method or treatment of his ills. That's Supreme Court law. Article 1, Section 3 of the Washington State Constitution states no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Article 1, Section 11 states absolute freedom of conscience in all matters of religious sentiment, belief, and worship shall be guaranteed to every individual, and no one shall be molested or disturbed in person or property on account of religion. Nowhere in our state or federal constitution does it say an idiot governor can mandate citizens to do anything. The last argument I've read from our city manager and attorney is we will lose funding. This bothers me the most. We, the citizens of this county and city, pay taxes which include your salary. But even if this was not the case, by the statement you're making, you put a price tag on these brave firefighters, as if their life or their livelihood has a price tag. These men and women have served our city and given their all, and sometimes their life, to protect me and you. You think you can repay them by firing them and putting a dollar sign in front of their names. But we are here to tell you no. No more will we, the citizens, stand by and allow you to do this to these brave city employees. If our city manager and city attorney will not stand by the citizens and these firefighters they are supposed to protect, I would respectfully ask you to resign effective immediately and allow someone who will not look at these brave firefighters as a dollar sign. Thank you.
Any comment from council?
Call for the vote.
Is that the last? Oh, I'd like to.
Councilmember Hankins?
The constitutional things that have been quoted, treatment of disease, you can choose to be treated in your way, whatever. That doesn't say anything about vaccines. We've been requiring children to have vaccines to go to school. You don't have to get your children vaccinated. No, you don't. Nobody can force you to. They just can't go to public school. If you don't want to get a vaccination, the state has the right to limit what you can participate in. It has been cleared by the Supreme Court more than once for generations that these vaccines that our children receive can be mandated. And it has been legal. If they don't want to take the vaccine, when you talk about fighting fire, if all they do is firefighting, I would say great, but they have patient contact. If in their job description it includes patient contact, then in my opinion, they should be vaccinated or they can't do that job.
Don't they wear,
So, if wearing a mask helps, then I'm not doing it. I'm speaking.
No comment from the audience, please.
Wearing a mask helps, it does not give 100% protection. Actually, nothing gives 100% protection, but each layer of protection helps. The mask helps, and that's why we're wearing a mask, even though I've had 3 shots of the vaccine, I'm still wearing a mask. And every layer of protection helps. So, I'm just saying, the thing to me, the point to me is patient contact. I worked in medicine for over 40 years. And when you talk about patient contact, your responsibility, everybody's responsibility is to that patient. Protect them, to heal them, to do your best for them. That's where I come down on it. Patient contact. If they can do work without patient contact, fine. I'm all for it. That's all I have.
May I make a comment?
No comment, please. Thank you.
Point of order.
Deputy Mayor Jackson.
Point of order. The gentleman made an incorrect statement.
That will stand until it's disproven. There's no point of order here. Brent, I have a question, a couple of facts. Is it my understanding that your national association has directed you or suggested that all firemen be vaccinated, yes or no?
I would defer that to our union president who is in the audience right now.
Then I'll ask him yes or no.
No,
You say that it is not directed, is that correct?
it is not directed by ISO.
Okay, thank you. Second question then is, and I guess to the city manager, how many departments do we have in this city approximately?
We have 6 departments.
Is any of the other departments having the same questions?
This is specifically related to the governor's mandate and firefighters and the healthcare setting. So we are setting ourselves up for the federal mandate that we expect will impact employers of 100 or more.
Of the firefighters that are in question here is, I know Captain Walker, he's decided to retire, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, then we have 3 firefighters out of how many?
We have 33 in the operations division that are authorized and 40 members total, uniform members.
Less than 10% then, correct?
It's about 10%, just under 10% of the operations division.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments from council? Member Liberty?
I just want to thank those that spoke and those that didn't. You know, we live in the United States and we live in a country that we need to respect one another's opinions, whether to be vaccinated or not. I personally would like to see our firefighters reinstated with accommodations. And if there's no further comments, I would like that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion to accommodate our firefighters. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. And do we hear Don?
Yeah. We have 4. Aye.
Can we get a roll call?
Those opposed, same sign.
Aye.
We have 3. So the motion carries 4-0.
Do we do a roll call? You want to do a roll call, Jim?
Yes, please.
We can. We'll start, Councilmember Nash.
Yes.
Councilmember Aaron.
To approve the motion? Yes.
Councilmember Hankins.
No.
Deputy Mayor Jackson.
No.
Councilmember Liebert.
Yes.
Councilmember Briggs.
No.
Mine is a yea. Motion still carries 4-0. The fireman will be reinstated with. All right, let's move on to item number 1, complete streets policy ordinance